pain, but I can't let you hurt me ever again. What I gotta do to be loved? What I gotta do to see love? A battle I'm sure to lose. Chest wide open from the exit wounds, and you pull the trigger. But if I say what you want me to say.
Alright, and we back, part 2 with Miss Stephanie and Miss Party Doll. Hope y'all enjoyed the first one. Here we go with the rest of the second one. Enjoy. Our podcast question. Now, we done asked y'all the other questions, so we got some new ones. So I'm gonna just get straight to the new ones for you because the rest of them.
I don't think I've heard the new ones.
Oh yeah, the new ones for season 5. For season 5. So let me just skip to it. So you could choose if you could choose your man type, will it be skinny, bulk, or big boy season?
Like the bulk. I like a man.
Oh shit! Yeah, I like
to, have a little meat. I like a thick guy. I like something thick.
Come on now, Missy E.
He gonna have to be thick, not big boy season.
Okay. What you about to say, TJ?
I'm about to say, didn't we have this conversation the other night and I was telling y'all these women out here like these thick guys?
Hey man,
but when I say thick, I ain't saying like he work out, but realistically we're getting to the age to,
right.
Just say Florida style. Yeah, Florida style. We get it. I got you. Yeah, Florida style. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like that boy Florida. I get it. All right. How many kids is a deal breaker?
For a guy?
For you. If you was talking to for getting to know him, he said, I got this many.
I think the question is how many baby mamas do you have? Not how many kids. How many baby mamas? That's the issue.
Because at my age, it's gonna matter. First, I've got to ask how old that kid is. How old is his youngest kid? Because if he's dating me and he got a 5-year-old, we got some problems.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna switch that. I'm gonna take kids. I'm gonna put baby mama. All right.
Yeah, and then if he got
baby mama, not the kids.
When I say, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
No. I'm just saying you're at some point you'll interact with the kids, but you got to see how many women are in your pockets. How many women are you having to deal with? Because regardless, they're still going to add stress and strain on you mentally, emotionally.
And that's more personalities to deal with.
It's too many personalities. You're going to have to deal with Sheila, Rebecca, Taylor, whoever. You're gonna have
he sounds like he messed with white girls.
He might.
Hey, Florida, is that question a vice versa question?
It's strictly for women. I asked women. Go ahead.
I see where he's going with that. Yeah, Perk.
I like the baby mamas for the guys, but for the men, it should be how many children. You know what I'm saying? Because like essentially, you still might have the multiple baby father thing, but as a guy, like you should have a limit. Well, I ain't gonna say you should, but like I'm learning now. Like I have one child. So
what's the number now? It's a number.
Yeah, that's you. I forgot you a Virgo. What's the number, TJ?
If I'm dating a woman,
that ain't now, TJ.
No, that is TJ that's asking the question.
If I'm dating a woman now, my limit is 1. Like I have 1, you have 1, we good. You know what I'm saying? Two.
TJ, you put me in a bad position, TJ.
Yeah, you put me in a bad position.
TJ, you put us in a bad position.
How I put y'all? Hey, listen, y'all don't have kids though. I do.
That's a bad position you put us in right now.
Well, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say this for me. So me personally, it was a woman I was talking to. She already had 2. The only reason why we're not together is she didn't want another child.
And that's what I was getting to, right? Like if you have 2, then it's going like you have to be fire, like you have to be dope, right? Okay. And I'm like, okay, I gotta really get to know you. Like them 2 kids, I ain't worried about them kids. Like I want you, and them kids coming with you, I'm cool with that. But you got to be a dope ass motherfucker, right? Anything after that.
So
you might have to be.
I have 4 children.
Okay.
I not saying we about to hook up, but I have 4 children. So at what point do you guys consider a woman with 4 children damaged goods? Like I don't
No.
deserve
Can I answer
So-
that question? I
Go
can
ahead,
answer that
Perkin. I'm
question.
gonna come right behind you.
All right. So a woman with 4 children, I'm scared. I'm sorry.
What is it you're afraid of?
Well, one, because that coot is very, very precious. 4, that means me and me having some life decisions in, and I don't know. I'm gonna be scared. I'm sorry. But
Okay.
I think what TJ said though, it really don't matter about the kids. It really matter about the woman, because it matters about the woman, and about 10% matters about the baby daddies. Because if you a father, you gotta deal with, you still gotta deal with that man as well.
That's to
Because
my point about the baby mothers.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, that's why I said it. You can say a number, but if you really can't find, you really don't know who you gonna fall in love with. And love don't pick because of she got 3. Okay, I fell in love. Like, she can have 6 and you fall in love. And everybody like, why he fell in love with her? Like, you really just don't know. So I think for me, it always depends. When we start talking about numbers, I gotta go pray to God about that first, and then depending on how that conversation go with God, then depending on how the conversation go with her and her baby daddy. Because the kids, I mean, I feel like I'm good with everybody kid. I'm a
TJ,
big
you
dude, so
Could be dealing with a
So-
situation to where the woman, the female or the man was previously married after so many years. Again, we're getting
Right.
to a different age bracket to where there's a possibility that you are going to deal with someone who does have multiple children. Just
So
because
that was gonna be my thing to you, Stephanie. Like you what, 40 right now?
I'm 40. Mhm.
Right. Okay.
40.
So 40 with 4 kids, and you're not trying to have any more, or you open to have more? Because I know you
I would be
like
open
women.
to have more.
Okay. So now
we got a shot.
So right. So now the conversation changes, because, and I got a funny story. Wasn't that, didn't I see you at the Classic when it was in Shreveport in the spring?
Mhm.
So listen, this is a funny story. I'm at, I think it was at Celebrity Lounge at the casino, and this woman walks in the door, and I look over here and I see this woman. I'm like, damn, this is a beautiful woman. Like, who the fuck is this? So whole night go by, I'm over there hanging with my friends, and then this particular woman walks up and starts talking to me. I'm like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? And she like, hey. I'm like, she's speaking like she know me, and I'm looking like, man, she looked familiar, but I don't know who this is. And it was Stephanie. So I'm like, oh shit. Like, I ain't seen you in like so long, but I told her, I said, listen, when you walk through this door, like I saw you, and if I didn't know who you were now, I definitely would have came and hollered at you for the end of the night. Now, I said that to say all this. Coming to find out now, you're 40 years old with 4 kids, and you had that effect on me that night. We're gonna have a conversation, and that conversation is gonna end up like, okay, are you trying to have more kids? Because I definitely want at least one. You know what I'm saying? So
let me ask this question.
The number matters, but if that woman is dope enough, then you can work some shit out. Like,
let me ask this question.
Everything is working.
Let me ask this question dealing with this. If that person is worth it, do the kids really matter?
No.
They should.
The number don't.
No, I'm talking about if you really digging this person. Let's say it is. Stephanie, I'm gonna use you. Let's say it is Stephanie. She got 4 kids, but you find out this the one for me. Do them? So, I'm not saying they ain't shit, but do them kids really matter?
So what matters when the kids are involved is how the relationship, how you guys are going to intertwine your lives, right?
But for her, if it's her, would you go the extra mile for her just to get with the kids?
She's a part of the kids.
Right.
And so I don't think they're saying that I don't think his question is, do they matter? I think he's saying it's not a deal breaker, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like kids are not going to be a deal breaker because they are an extension of you. So I'm going to do what it takes to at some point when you're ready to introduce your children to me, we're going to, like TJ said, we're going to work together to be a family or to be some form of a unit. We're going to start working together. But I don't think he was saying they matter.
No.
It's not a deal breaker.
Yeah, because like my stepdad, I don't refer to him as my stepdad unless it's like legal person, but he stepped in a point in my life where I needed a father. But my mom didn't introduce me to him until probably like a year later, and he didn't care. Like he did everything he could for us. He did more than my own damn daddy did. So if she's the one, and I'm going back to Stephanie, and she got 4 kids, does that really even matter? Like I found my true love, so I'm gonna work this thing out with her and them 4 kids.
And it might be that I'm going to take care of these kids better than their father is. I might spend the time out. What? I'm sorry.
Didn't I just say that though?
Oh no,
yeah, you did say that. Yeah.
Okay.
But it also depends on like how well you gel with those kids. You know what I'm saying? Because if you once you get to meet those kids, like the woman can be dope, but if you meet those kids and those kids are not like, they don't really gel with you like that, they looking at you sideways, then you gotta not like Perk always say, it's life decisions. Like, are you gonna still pursue this woman and think you and this woman gonna have a great relationship, but her children are not, like, shit, y'all gonna have issues? Then that's gonna put a strain on the actual relationship. You
and I'll say
so
this, just the whole
all of those things are involved.
Ma, you probably don't know, but when Pernell and I started dating, he didn't want to date me. I had a child. He wanted nothing to do with that child. And now I found out years later, she sensed that. She felt that. She felt that. But at the same time, like I told y'all, we married so young. We were so young when we started dating. We were in our 20s. I don't recommend that for anyone. But she felt that. She felt that she was not wanted by him.
Okay, so let's wrap this up because I got more questions. So if I'm asking a woman, I should ask, how many baby mamas is a deal breaker?
I would say so, yes.
Okay, and then switch it.
It's not the children.
Okay, all right. Future reference.
The only question you can ask about the children is, is there discipline or not?
That's a very good question.
We'll figure that out. All right, ladies, back to y'all because we got man. That was a deep moment right there with that question. All right. If your pH balance is off, will you still let him go downtown?
Oh, wow.
Wow, that is an interesting question.
That's interesting.
But the thing, okay,
ahead,
but the thing is, sometimes he's the one that's gonna, if he's not right, he's gonna take the pH balance off.
And some women don't know about pH balance. Let's go.
Right.
That's a very good.
Well, we're gonna find out because I'm gonna ask this question. If they play dumb, like
So,
right, and you should know.
When you say the pH balance is off, do I have a potential yeast infection?
No.
I'm not saying anything because at that point that's nasty. So that's like we can't like. My pH could be slightly off, but what do you mean by slightly off? Because some women test their pH, sometimes they don't, you know.
We're finna find out.
I'm not, anal about testing my pH.
No more anal words. No more.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I every now and again. I just want to make sure she's right. I work hard to make sure my balance is right.
So the question is, if it's off, are you letting them go downtown?
So when you say that, I think if I don't have a yeast infection, we good.
Okay.
Like there's certain things, because sometimes depending on what you've done that day or what you've eaten, it could slightly elevate your pH.
Okay.
So if you use a certain fragrance or what you use as soap wise, it may not be completely balanced. So I think again, do I have some form of, bacteria that's affecting me? If I have a bacteria issue going on, then no, bro, I'm not gonna do that to you.
Yeah.
If they don't know about the pineapples, they don't know about pH balance.
All right. Next question. Is waiting 90 days even worth it?
I don't know.
Not good test dummies.
I say to each his own.
I'm trying
Hell
to
no.
It's up. I mean, because we grown. We are grown people, and you gonna do what you want to do. If you have talked to somebody and you got a chemistry and you feel like, okay, I'm gonna make a move, then you make a move. You do what's best for you. But I do hope that you've had conversations with that person and actually talk to them, because sometimes people go into situations and not even have a decent conversation.
So
90 days is bad. If you put somebody on 90
listen,
days, that's bad.
no, listen. This is why I say to each his own, because I'm learning, and like I say, every day I'm learning new things about being a man, right? For being my man, right? So I'm learning that if a woman, for me particularly, if a woman is deciding to have a conversation with me, she's already made a decision whether she would sleep with me or not, right? And she also have a time frame in her head. Okay, I give it to him like right now, or ooh, I wanna get to know this man. And if he does the right things, then boom, I'm gonna give it to him, right? So that's what I said, what I was talking about earlier. That conversation matters for the man. You have to pay attention, because she'll let you know, like, if you can get it tonight, or hey, I need you to put a little work in, right? So the 90 days thing, typically most women would say, like, when they first meet somebody, yeah, I'm gonna get this thing 90 days and see where it goes. But as far as that man is concerned, it's dependent on what you do, whether that 90 days become 9 days or 9 minutes. You know what I'm saying? 9 hours, whatever the case may be. Like, it's all about that man, bro. Like, that woman can see me and think, oh, I'm finna get him right now, or she can see another dude and like, nah, he finna put this work in. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on who you are in your conversation.
Intentionally putting a time frame on it.
I don't know about that.
I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't read the book. I'm not buying it. I think it's a way for women to play mind games. I'm just gonna be honest. Like my mom said, we're grown. And TJ, I agree with you. When I first see you, I know already if I
want to be like, oh my goodness, I want to jump his bones.
She really said jump his bones
today, but eventually I'm gonna get to you in 90 days. I don't have time to play this. You're playing games like this. Right. It's so cliche to me, because you're basing it off of a book Steve Harvey wrote. Like, who was doing 90 days prior to that?
He done made 2 movies and he done 2 movies.
She took my phrase off of that, because that's what I was finna say. You just read the book. You ain't got no direction. You done let Steve Harvey mess up your life, because ain't too many men gonna be waiting 90 days. Now, if they wait 90 days, they got something else on the side.
Unless you're going on some type of spiritual, like, if you don't come with me about 90 days, let it be biblical. Don't come talking about what Steve Harvey said. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. So
hold on. They didn't even wait 90 days in the Bible. It was 21 days.
Okay, so this question I didn't ask, because we added a third part to this. Now, you didn't heard it, but we added a third part. I just want to see what y'all say. T-shirt and panties, lingerie, or nothing at all?
T-shirt and panties.
Still t-shirt and panties. Miss Stephanie?
Oh, wow.
Nothing at all. I knew you was going to say that. Oh, okay. All right.
T-shirt and panties.
Who's more important than a... Come on now, girl. All right. Who's more important in a Black woman's life, her mother or her father?
It depends.
You gotta give me something.
Oh, I think her
Who's
father.
More important?
I think it is the father, and I'm gonna say why. Because your father is who you fall in love with first. So because he is the guy to set the example for the men that you will meet or how you should be treated, the father is very important.
Absolutely.
Fill in the blank. Black women ship for Black men.
They should cater to Black men more.
More. Missy E?
We talked about that earlier.
Missy?
I think that Black women should definitely stand behind and uplift them.
Okay. Now, Black men should blank for Black women.
Support them more.
Protect us.
Support and protect.
Okay, can I ask a question? For
Well done.
Stephanie that said support, and for Missy that says protect us. Can you all elaborate on what you mean by support and protect?
Absolutely. When I say support, I'm not talking about financially. I'm referring to the emotional piece, because I do many things. I have several jobs. I have, children. At the end of the day, I want you to support me emotionally. I want you to be my listening ear, my shoulder that I can cry on. If I've had a student that we've had the Baker Act, I just want to melt into your arms and let you just support me. Protect me. Protect my emotions and my feelings. It's that simple.
Okay.
Missy, you want to add to that?
Now, protection.
As far as protection, I think that, and I'm not saying this is, something personal for me. It's just some things I see. I think that when it comes to society, for Black women, sometimes we're out there by ourselves. And it doesn't, and I hear so many negative things about Black women coming from Black men. Instead of them standing up and saying, okay, well, we're gonna, support the Black woman, or, protect them from all the other things. We got everything else coming at us. But then a lot of times we don't have that Black man in our corner. And if you follow me, you'll see that a lot of my posts are uplifting Black men. I love Black men. I just wish they loved us as much as we love them. Because even though when we look at Black men and white women are the most groups to get married. Black men marry, and some of the numbers might be a little skewed, but they usually have a tendency to marry outside of their group versus inside. Black men and white women, number ones for marrying outside of their groups. But it's like when you hear them and they say different things about why they don't choose Black women, we're loud. But then you marry a white woman who does far more than what we do. They tearing up the house. They're, going through your phone. They're tearing, going, alienating you from your family and everything else. But when it comes to Black women, I think that it should be a sacred bond, because we understand you more. But again, it's like a lot of times we don't get that protection.
So
hence calling the B, we're the B word, you a hoe, you know.
I appreciate both of those responses, and they, because when people speak about support and protection, like I said earlier, everyone have their own actual definition of what those things mean to them. But to Ms. E, for what you said about like, I'm just gonna speak for me right now. I love me a Black woman. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing like a beautiful Black woman. I think they have so much essence. They have so much rhythm. They have a lot of nurturing and caring personalities. So when we get down, and this is just me, once I get to my own podcast, these are some of the things I'm going to talk about, because we have to start compartmentalizing and breaking down these things, because once we speak on a general term, like she said, Black men and Black women, Black men and white women are the ones that marry outside of their race most. But there's a group of Black men that love Black women. You know what I'm saying? And we're not the ones that's calling Black women loud. We're not the ones that's calling Black women stuck up or this, that, and the other. Like, no, we're trying to support and protect Black women. But with social media being what it is today, everybody want to join in on the conversation. And when they join in on the conversation, they are adding their opinion to the opinion that's already out there and not really giving their own perspective and opinion on things. They just adding like, okay, the 50-50 conversation that's hot right now. Everybody just going along with their conversation just because it's hot right now. They want to add their 2 cents, but no one's really breaking down that conversation. That conversation really
conversation.
Like going half on bills, like the man paying half the bills, the woman paying half the bills. You know what I'm saying?
That was. Mm-mm.
So the gist of that conversation is really not a general conversation. The only people who can really have that conversation are the 2 people that's in a relationship, right? So everybody that's joining in on this conversation, you can say one thing, but once you get in that relationship, your perspective may change depending on the person that you're with. You know what I'm saying? So and another thing that they're not really talking about is where that conversation or where that idea come from. That idea comes from a time where women were not working. Their job was to stay at home, take care of the house. That man bring that check home. She pays all the bills and she took care of the kids. The man went out and worked. That reality is not today's reality. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that a man, like in my opinion, and for me, yes, I'm going to make sure the bills are paid. But the conversation has to be a little bit different, especially like with the women who demand that. If a woman demand that, the man should pay all the bills, okay, well, that man that you're demanding to pay all the bills should be able to demand certain things be done, whether it's cooking and cleaning the house or whether it be whatever the case it is. If you demanding those bills being paid, then that man you should be okay with that man demanding certain things from you. That's just, nobody's talking about that in that conversation. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about certain conversations,
hold on, TJ. I'm gonna do this because I think let me get through this because I want at least 20 more minutes with y'all dealing with what TJ said. Let me just get through this real quick. No, because we gotta talk about it. All right, if you can have this is for you, Missy and Stephanie. If you can have a conversation with 3 black women, dead or alive, who are they? If you can have a conversation with 3 black women, dead or alive, who are they? If you can have a conversation with 3 black women, dead or alive, who are they? TJ, remember what you said, because we're coming back to that.
I got you, big dog.
Okay, y'all know, okay. One would be, for me, just because I would love to talk to my great-grandmother, Dorothy Calloway. Okay. Girl, what's up? Like, what's going on? Okay. I would love to sit down and have a conversation with her. That's one. That's one. Just for the fun of it, Carisha. I've grown to I did not like her at first, but I would love she's grown on me.
Who is Carisha?
City Girls, Young Miami.
From the City Girls. Oh. She has the podcast, and I think she's more authentic than what I thought she was. Oh, my third person.
Young Miami done made it to the cab. I like that. Come on, Stephanie, one more.
Oh, Lord, my third person.
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive. I don't know.
Gotta give me somebody.
It's not gonna be Oprah, I'm gonna tell you that.
Okay. It's your people. Listen, somebody came to you and said you can have a conversation with 3 black women, dead or alive.
With 3 black
We already know it's your great-grandmother, and we already know it's Carisha, aka Young Miami from the City Girls. And that third person is
one of the AKA founders.
I thought about that, but that would be so cliche. That would be so.
Nah, I wouldn't. No, it wouldn't.
So
these are your 3 people. It don't matter.
It would be. I don't know. I just have to.
No. Keep thinking because you owe me a third one. Missy E, who is your 3?
Okay, so this is really gonna take y'all out the way. I love Janet Jackson. Right. So I would love to have a conversation with her.
Gotcha.
I would also be interested in talking to Beyonce.
All right.
Just to have give me an hour to ask any question with Beyonce, because that girl got it going on.
Okay.
Her publicist has it going on.
But think about the stuff that she's gone through. So I would love to kind of get into her head. Then I would love to talk to Jesus's mother.
Look at your mama.
That's a good one.
I would love to talk to Jesus' mother.
You gonna get into heaven with that one.
Look at
I'm gonna let you in with that one.
But if you think about, you said living or dead, just think, what could she tell us?
That's a good one.
Because remember, there's a whole big piece of Jesus' life that's not told in the Bible.
Yeah, I want to know how that felt when she got pregnant. How did that feel?
Right.
Yes. That's really good.
And Stephanie, you can't take that either. Come on with your
I'm not. I'm gonna say Angela Davis.
Like, I'm about to say, the only way you can tell that, like, let me talk to Eve.
And I thought about that the first woman. I thought about that too.
Angela Davis. Okay. All right. So
Davis,
Stephanie is her great grandmother, Young Miami, aka Carisha, Angela Davis, and Missy E is Janet Jackson, Beyonce, and the mother of Jesus.
Mary.
Good old Mary. All right. Okay. This question is gonna lead into what we gotta talk about for 20 minutes because I want to get back. So this season we talk about Black women, all season 5. So I'm gonna ask y'all, and if y'all want to come back for another episode, y'all know y'all always welcome. But I gotta ask y'all, what is the state of Black women in the year 2023?
I think there's so many defining moments for us. We're making so many gains. I still don't think we are where we deserve to be. Definitely when we look at just in politics, there should be more of us on the forefront, and we're still held back from that. I left the area because I was not given the support that I needed in my career. And I think that still happens very often with Black females. We don't get the support, like my mom said, just in general. We don't get the support or the recognition that we deserve. We're still behind the scenes making everything work. But slowly we're coming to the forefront. We're still behind.
You see?
I think it's just a trend. I think that Black women are still misunderstood, misrepresented. I think that when it comes to where we are right now, everybody wants to be us because it's the trend. It looks good right now, but are we really resolving anything? It might look good to say, oh my goodness, we done named this person for this and that person for that. Is it tokenism, or is it really what we're trying to do to make things better? We still talk about, we can't talk about our history as far as, what's happened. And as more things, it's sad when you see, for example, there was a white guy who was talking about all the things in Black history that we no longer talk about anymore. But do we talk about how this country systematically divided Black men from Black women? Do we talk about how it systematically prevented Black people from having the same generational wealth that white people had? Do we really address those issues? We can look at our kids. Our kids are continuing to die, especially, with violence increasing. We put R. Kelly in jail, not to say that he wasn't wrong for what he did, but we still don't address other people who are doing things far worse than what R. Kelly did. So it's like we're still putting a Band-Aid on stuff and not really addressing the issues and creating and solving problems.
I don't think we ever will, though.
I think it could be better, though.
It could be better, but I don't think we'll ever be where we should be.
Why is it that we still won't talk about reparations, but everybody else has gotten reparations?
Ooh, boy, y'all
Part
y'all
two
going
coming.
somewhere. I don't even know if I
I
want
think
to
the
start
strength
talking
of
on
the
this.
Black woman is, I think they still fear us. That's the problem. So if we were given if we were given the same playing field, they already
Well,
know.
let me say this. Let me say this. For me, it was a statement a man made, a pastor was making in one of these 3 weeks in my fast. One of the pastors made a statement about a woman that was very deep for me, and it was that a woman is born with a nation in her bosom.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
But everything that a Black woman went through in past tense, to me, was like, I think, like Stephanie said, like, they're intimidated by you because of everything you had to overcome to get there. And even now we're in 23, and Black men and Black women still have to do everything right just to be equal.
Right.
Like, I
Or
work
even get to 49%.
yeah. So like, I work now in a place where every day is a battle. And even like talking to my mom, who's in a whole different generation of, she's seen it different. And, she talking to me about, well, you need to do this. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm tired of doing that. Like, I got to go to work. I got to be on time to beat them to work. I got to make sure I come from lunch earlier than everybody else. I'm like, nah, I ain't trying to do that no more. Like, if they can't take me, then my work ethic is better than theirs. But if I got to do all this extra stuff, man, it's just like, we not going to ever win. It don't matter what we do. It ain't enough.
But you have to remember, like, for example, Dorothy Calloway, who she was talking about, who she wants to meet, my grandmother. My grandmother, and I think that work ethic that they gave us was that we will always have to be better than them in order to even be to appear to have been good. And we usually what the crazy part is, we'll be in a position and we'll be running it, and everybody else thinking it's so easy until we leave. And then what they do is they separate that position among 4 people.
2, 3,
Now
4
you
people.
were
Yep.
now you were doing it by yourself, and you were running it and making it look easy and perfecting it. But that's what we've always done. We've always been that person to try to make a way out of no way, and to manage.
I also think too that we as women, we don't support we want everyone else to support us, but we're not supporting each other.
Oh, please, because we're so jealous. And that's one of the other things. We're so jealous and envious of each other when we don't need to be.
Florida,
if we would take that energy and put it together, like, we would definitely, but we have to stick together. We as a community don't stick together.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Florida, that's
got
part
2.
3, Florida.
Hold on, teacher. We're gonna do that again because that's why I said I know it's gonna be a part 2 to bring them back, because this episode was about the Valentine episode, season 5. We got Missy E and Stephanie. Hold on, let me do this real quick, because I'm a big supporter of my Monroe. And where my picture at? Hold on, where is that? So if y'all don't know, right now she having 50% off her site all week.
Oh, look at you.
Because that's why I bought all my Christmas gift in the last 2 years. Yeah.
Wow.
So
thank you so much for your support.
Always look, if you grow and get bigger, that means we right behind you.
Right.
And if we grow,
I see some typos.
They see that big ass 50%. That's all that matters. So yeah, I'm always gonna support. So
yeah.
You know me. So some of the words started with capitalization, and then the last 2 were off.
That big ass 50% was most important.
That's what mattered, right?
That's what
some people can't read. They say if you want to put a secret somewhere, put it in the book. They
put
can't
it in the book.
Big ass 50% off this site all week. And don't forget to tune into Missy E radio show. Once again, it's #1 everywhere. Ukraine, New Zealand.
The Soul Platform.
Syndicated
radio show.
I drop it in the text, Florida, so I can check it out. Because I definitely.
I just worked on the Valentine Day.
I'm gonna DM it to you on IG because that's what she sent it to me.
Okay. And so and I'm not. I've been trying to get my numbers up, but I guess people like, I'm tired of listening to your shit. But
I'm gonna share it.
But the Valentine's one is actually a 2-hour episode. So I was working on that all day. So it is definitely sensuous and hot. I definitely try to make sure I get, the good music, and it's definitely that, that playlist that you're gonna be like, oh yeah, we getting it.
And she dropped new music. It's not just the old stuff. She dropped new artists and everything. So I'll definitely DM to you, TJ. But
you got the one from January 24th. That's the latest one that's out on at Hear This.
I'm still waiting on my co-host.
Who? Are you trying to come on?
The owl that said who?
Yeah, January 24th. That's the one we got.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, Missy E, Stephanie, I really do appreciate y'all getting on help us with this Valentine episode. And if y'all want to come back, talk about season 5, because we talking about the state of Black women, because it seems like y'all got more to say, you're welcome back. Because also the 100 episode going to be this season 2. So y'all could be the 50th and the 100 if you want to.
Oh shit.
I'm down. Just let me know. Just let me know. And then maybe I'll be able to solidify what my relationship is by then.
Yeah, we'll find out somebody else.
Oh, wow. On the 100th episode.
Yeah, on the 100th episode. So, like I always say, we're going to get better, do better. That's Perk. Quita was on, she got off. TJ always stopping by to help us out. Cal Podcast. Hey, man, season 5, we're just getting rolling.
Yeah,
we're still rolling.
All right, so I'm gonna address, like, Perk said something about equality, right? So I particularly don't agree with equality for the simple reason that when we're born, we're all born with different gifts and talents, right? Naturally. So as a Black people, we are just naturally more gifted than some people. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get off into a whole bunch of the race stuff. I'm just saying, like, just naturally, we're more gifted. So like I think Stephanie said something about women. Like, women are naturally jealous of other women because they know that woman has something or can do something a little bit better or different than she does, right? So when as a human being, as a Black person, if I'm just naturally more talented, Ms. Eves was saying something earlier, like, shit, one person was doing this job, but when that one person left, they hired 4 people to do the same job that one person was doing. So in that case, like, if I'm doing something great, then it takes four of you just to do what I'm doing by myself, then quite naturally you're going to do everything within your power to slow me down. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like, that's with everything, sports, that's with in business. So the narrative is being put out that we as a Black people are lazy, we're criminals, we're thugs, we're this. But in all actuality, that's being put out systematically so that we won't realize that we're really, like, legit, we're elite. You know what I'm saying? Everything we do is done on an elite basis. But in your mind, if you think that, oh, like, this is my only option, well, you're going to choose from those 2 options because those are the only 2 that you know, right? And there was equality, and somebody said something else earlier. I can't remember what it was. But going back to what I was saying also about the relationships in the 50-50 in that conversation, like, everybody want to talk about bills. That's why I asked specifically about what did y'all mean about support and protection, because most times when people say those things, it's financial. But in a relationship, like, let's just be real. We're grown people. As a grown person, you have responsibilities. You have financial responsibilities. You have chores around the house. You have children that you have to take care of. If you're in a relationship with someone, those responsibilities are divided between the 2 people. In all actuality, it don't fucking matter who does it. They just need to be done. Now, those two people in that relationship have to come together and decide, okay, listen, I'm going to do this portion. You're going to do this portion. This shit's going to get taken care of, and then we're going to live happily ever after. But people don't want to have that conversation. They're fussing about, oh, the man need to pay the bills, the woman need to do this, whatever the case might be. Bruh, come together as a team. Unity. That's what it was. Unity. The Black community does not have enough unity, right? If we had, that's the biggest fear, is Black people joining together. In order for us to join together, like love, I'm doing a deep study about love. And the first thing that I came to is everybody talk about love being an action. But my new opinion is love is actually a state of mind. And the reason I say that is because the reason we say love is an action is because once you, everything you believe, you all of your actions are based off of your thoughts and what you believe. If you believe that Stephanie believed that she can make some money off of her online shop. So what she do? She went and created an online shop, and she's promoting her online shop, and she's making money because she believed that she could. If she didn't believe that she could, she never would have did it, right? So if me personally, I am the embodiment of love, epitome of love. I believe in love. Everything I do is based off of love. So when I meet people, whether it's a significant other or just a friend, like I'm coming from a place of love. So everything that I do, my actions, how I talk to this person, how I treat this person is based off of love, right? So in order for us to unite, we have to get into a place of self-love first and foremost. And then from self-love, we can start to love the people that's around us. Once we start loving the people around us, then now we can unite and create systems in order so that the Black community can advance. Because that's another problem. We don't have any systems in place. We don't have any unified fronts for like protesting. We protest when somebody get killed, but what's the purpose of a protest?
We don't follow through.
We don't follow through. What are we actually getting out of this protest?
So, you was about to say something, Ms. Dean?
No, I was just gonna say that I think when we look at our systems, again, that's why I brought up that we don't trust the systems, and we don't trust them because they have been designed to tear us down and tear us apart. Right. When we look at the housing market, what was interesting is they teach us about how the welfare system actually came about. And so the interesting thing is that there was public housing for white people that was in a certain area, and then there was public housing for Black people. Well, the public housing for white people definitely was better accommodations. And then when that got to a point, they decided to remove them from the public housing and put them in the suburbs. But for the Black people who went to the public housing, they were put in situations that, it wasn't the same kind of building. And actually, we wrote laws to support this. The public housing for Black people and the public housing for white people. But then what we did is we hindered Black people from moving about or moving where they wanted to live. So why would we trust the systems? Why would we trust systems that would kill us? Do you know that they purposely sterilize Black women?
Mm-hmm.
Purposely.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of the dude named the
You're talking about the physician who used
who said
technique.
Black women. Yeah, said Black women don't feel pain, and he literally
and they created a statue
for him and everything. Yeah,
in New York, and he became the father of gynecology.
Yeah,
the father of gynecology, because he would use those techniques on Black women without anesthesia, but for white women, he would give them anesthesia.
And then he also created anesthesia from a Black woman too.
Yes.
Like a lot of people don't know that Anastasia was created from Black women.
Mm-hmm.
So
That boy said
So-
Anastasia.
He did say Anastasia.
We knew what he was talking about.
We knew he meant.
No,
We know he meant
Yeah.
Anastasia.
He been talking a long time now.
Hey man, I mess up
Let 'em
words
make
every
it.
day. I mess up words every day.
Mhm.
So,
but we knew what you were talking about.
yeah, but I
Right.
think that's why they scared of Joe Biden putting all these Black women in judging positions, because they're afraid that they're going to turn back some of them laws in certain states.
Well, it's no different than what the Republican Party did. They put people in place that had their agenda. That's why he fought so hard. And I was, what's interesting is that when we talk about the political arena, so here in Georgia, there's no way that Stacey Abrams should not have won that race.
Come on
Is
now.
no way.
I still
When
don't know
you
how the
go
fuck they
back
did
and
that.
look at the number of people who were registered to vote versus the people who went to vote, it was sickening.
Yeah.
So you have those issues. And the issue is that the people who these laws affect are the people who are not going to vote. So the people who live in public housing where they're passing laws, they don't go and vote.
But I think too, because it's been again instilled in them that my vote's not going to count. And so how do we change that thought process and that trajectory? Like, no, every vote does count. Like together, there's strength in numbers. And I think they don't realize. I have so many friends and I almost want to disassociate myself with them. What you mean you didn't vote? In the state of Texas, I can probably count how many friends actually did not vote.
Louisiana, when Garrett Chambers was running against Kennedy, I never been so disappointed with Black people in Louisiana. That man lost by 164,000 votes. That means only people really voted was in the fucking New Orleans. I mean, no Black people from Monroe voted. No Black people from Shreveport voted. No Black people from Baton Rouge voted. How the hell you got a Black guy, young Black guy who's going around the state talking about what he's going to do? We know this man going to do. This man did an ad against the KKK. He did an ad of him smoking weed, and nobody went and voted for it. Only the people in New Orleans went and voted. Like, that shit was so fucking sickening to see that.
But look at Texas, Beto O'Rourke against Greg Abbott. There's no reason that Beto O'Rourke should not have won. He's been advocating since Obama was in office.
Facts.
You mean to tell me you don't know who he is and you couldn't get your butt up and go vote? But we in line for them new Jays. We still doing that though.
Right.
Okay, right. I got two more questions.
Mm-hmm.
Because this has been a hot topic for us too. And it's really dealing with Black women. What is the problem with a Black woman dating a man who make only $45,000 a year?
Nothing.
Boy, you gonna bring up my question, boy. You know what?
You know what? I think again.
Now, before you go, Stephanie, let me say this. We've been saying he made $45,000 a year. We never said he was broke. We don't know what's in the bank account. We just saying $45,000 a year. And every time we answer that question, they say that's not enough, but every woman has contradicted
Who is
herself.
saying it's not enough?
That was wrong.
It's a lot.
Who
It's
is
a
saying
lot.
it's not enough?
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Okay, so I have this question.
Wrong.
Okay, so if he's making $45,000 a year, he got a job.
Right.
He got a job. He's bringing something to the table.
Correct.
Come on.
Now, what are you bringing to the table is the question.
There you go.
Because females are quick to say they the table.
Right. What are you bringing to the table? So if that man is making $45,000, you lift him up, y'all work together, and you get what you need.
Absolutely. You
But
are my mother.
They always contradict themselves because they always say they always contradict themselves because they always say if a man loves you, he will find a way to get shit done. So I'm saying, so it shouldn't matter about the money.
But then what are you doing?
It doesn't. I'm to this point in my life where I will live in a corp and I make it's not realistic, but I will live in a cardboard box as long as I know you are doing those things. You're protecting me, you're supporting me, you're loving me, you're providing me with the affection and the care that I need. That's what we're gonna need. At the end of the day, all this shit can be stripped away from you. But if we don't have love and we don't have that communication and that relationship together, everything else falls. So you can have all the money in the world and we still not be happy, and we still not be on one accord. So I'm to the point, I don't care how much money you make. As long as you are providing, you're bringing something to the table. Guess what? I'm a hustler. I'm going to,
That's one
come up with
thing.
a
My
business.
girl's a
I got
hustler.
business plan for you.
We a
about to do
hustling
something. I'm about to
family.
support you, baby. We about to rise. I have plans.
said-
I'm going to do the research.
said
Maybe
a
we can start
cardboard
Amazon
box?
tomorrow. We can do something.
You said a
So-
cardboard box?
So
A cardboard box. You got a cardboard box? We
Man,
good.
it's
The
a lot
point
of them
is, we
around
are
here.
going to, we come into this world with nothing. We're going to leave here with nothing. I can't take any of these things with me, but I want to know that I die and I live through love. I agree with TJ. I want to be loved. I want to be appreciated. I want to appreciate somebody else. I want to love somebody else. I don't think at the end of the day, I'm going to do what I need to do for myself. All you need to do is come with something, bring you to the table, and we're going to make it work. And I'm not saying that I'm going to, provide and I'm going to do everything for my man, because of course, any man that's going to be with me, he's going to want to do what it takes to make sure that we happy. So I get
And
real.
I'm disturbed by that, because you want to know what really gets me with that is that some women are talking about 45,000 isn't enough, but you will hook up with a guy in prison and send him money on commissary continuously. You will hook up with somebody else's husband and get nothing and be tripping. You will. I don't understand that. You were tripping about a man making 45,000 a year, but you would follow behind a man that got 4 baby mamas.
Come on now.
And still trying to give somebody else a baby.
And don't know what they pH balance
what?
is.
And so and this
that
is
makes
why
no
I say,
sense to me.
This is why I say we got to compartmentalize, because the women who are like you ladies have just said that 45,000 is okay because that man has a job, right? But you also brought up a valid point of saying, like, okay, we got to make sure our relationship, if he's making 45,000, then we're good on our relationship. The women who are asking for the man who's making more than 45,000 or whatever the case might be, asking for more money, then they don't talk about the relationship piece of it. You know what I'm saying? They just see the man making more money and the lifestyle that comes along with it. So we need to figure out who's who and separate and have a different conversation, because in my opinion, that relation, yes, now don't get me wrong, because we have to pay for shit, money is definitely important. Like love.
But TJ, you could be making 45 today, and guess what? You've been working hard on your job. You may have applied for another job. You may have received a promotion. We don't know. But I come into it, you got, and I, when I was younger, I probably would say, girl, I can't do a guy with potential. But if you come to the table with potential and you showing me that you working towards something, and again, I'm going to build and I'm going to lift you up and we're doing the same thing for each other, what's the problem?
That's the relationship piece, right? Like a lot of people, and this whole conversation, there's a conversation about everybody is dating to marry. Like to be quite frank, I disagree with that concept, because you should be dating to get to know this person.
Come on now.
In the dating process, then you determine if you want to get married to that person, right? Because if you date to marry, then after you get married, what's next?
Right.
We just talked about that.
That's your end goal, is to get married. What the fuck are you gonna do after marriage, right? But if I'm dating to get to know you, then marriage is a milestone, but we're gonna still date because we don't know, we're not gonna ever know each other 100%. So we're gonna we're both growing, so we're gonna constantly get to know each other, right? So we have to start compartmentalizing these conversations and these people. So The women who want the guy who's making a certain amount of money, okay, cool. Y'all get over there and y'all talk about that. And then y'all figure out the relationship piece. The women who are okay with the $45,000 guy or in that range, then y'all get together, y'all talk, because y'all are actually talking about the relationship with that guy. And like Stephanie just said, this man making 45, and Miss E said earlier too, at least he's bringing something to the table, right? He has a job. So once I know you have a job and the women are hustlers, okay, now let's talk about how we can take the money that we are making and put it into an investment and growing what we have. You know
Absolutely.
So, but that conversation is relevant.
But I think so many women that get caught up. I have to say, what are you bringing to the table? Like, I just want to know, a lot of females, what have you brought to the table? Are you making 45?
Right. Why are you saying he need to make 45? Are you making 45? I honestly believe this because, for example, if I am working to pay my own bills and take care of myself, why do okay, let me change that, what I was about to say. I just think that when you are dating and you do approach a woman, you have to be ready to make yourself vulnerable. And two, you also have to be open to what she got going on as well. Now, if you're coming to her and you're like, okay, she's taking care of herself, and I want her to, back down from doing different things. Why would we got to stop trying to change each other. Right. Because that's the first thing people want to do. You want to change me. You met me in the club, but now you want me to be house mother.
Amen.
Come on.
I met you. I mean, you want me to be something different. You want me to cover up, but when you met me, my boobs were out.
Come on. That's why I was attracted to you. Come on.
Right. You were attracted to me, and now you want me to cover up and wear a head wrap and everything else.
Come on.
I just think that sometimes we are definitely unrealistic in what we're asking. I can't go if a guy approaches me and he makes 150,000. I don't make 150,000. Either you love me for me or move on.
Let me show you this video real quick. And this is what we got from. Don't worry, I'm gonna cut this part out of the video. It ain't gonna make it off. TikTok, I think is this one. Let me move. By stressing about nothing.
But that's what he's supposed to be doing as an able-bodied adult.
Wait. I know that part, but y'all saying he broke. We saying he just made 45.
I'm not saying that he's broke. All I'm saying is you're dealing with women who are making $90,000 a year and you're making 40, regardless of how you put it. Even if he's paying for everything, the woman is still going to be taking most of the that's the bulk of it. She's going to be dealing with
How you know? This man could probably pay for
he don't got it.
Hold on. See, this is what I said a while ago when I made the statement that a man could be making 95 and he would take a woman at 45. But a woman will not take a man that is lower than her.
He should not. If I were a man, sorry to interrupt you. If I was a man and I was making $95,000 a year,
it's not about the money.
It's not about the money.
It's not about the money.
Tell you something.
One at a time. Can't talk over each other.
When I was making $40,000 a year, the last thing on my mind was a relationship. That's just me. I can't really speak for everybody else, but 40, like in 2022, you understand, all of us on this podcast understand that $40-something thousand a year ain't gonna cut it. That's just with the cost of living. It don't matter where you stay. $40,000 a year is just not enough. So me personally, if I was making $40,000 a year, I'm not talking to a man that make $90,000 a year because we not even. I got some work to do.
DJ Star.
I can't wait to hear the response on this.
I think they've already responded to that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
they're clear in it. Like, it's the relationship.
That's where that came up from.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this, and
Come on, Lord.
It's gonna be cut out. Trust me.
okay, so
Matter of fact, let me do this now. Hold on.
G14 classified. That's good.
Long live DJ Star.